Well, we all didn't see that one coming now, did we? Now obviously what I'm talking about is the fact that, well, Joker from Persona 5 is the first DLC character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and over this video we'll be discussing what does that mean for the rest of the DLC, the other 4 characters, maybe more DLC, possibly, and what impact does this have? Well, not really an impact, but what does this mean not only for the rest of the DLC, but also the leaks that have been happening since Ultimate was revealed up until now. So I'm the Legend of the S, and let's get on to the topic of this video, which is Joker changed everything, basically. Before we even get going, let's take a moment here and press F. Everybody press F in your keyboard to pay respects to all of our fallen brethren, the leakers, who have absolutely been destroyed by by Joker being in Smash. And you know what? Screw them. For months on end, people have been jerking off Vergebank because of, oh my god, he's just the best, isn't he? He gets everything right, despite the fact that he, much like the Gamatsu leaker, I swear to god, he's the Gamatsu leaker all over again. Or he's the Gamatsu leaker. He gets nothing unpredictable. He gets everything predictable. And not only that, Vergebank got popular because he said before E3, no cuts from Wii U, Solid Snake, Wolf, and the Iceclimbers were returning. You wanna know what I said before? What I said back in January? No cuts, Iceclimbers and Wolf would be coming back, and Snake had a chance, but I didn't really believe it was up in the air. And I said that again before E3. Where's my pat on the back? Why are people claiming that I have insider sources and I'm a leaker? Maybe because I don't go on the internet looking for fame by being a fake leaker. Not only that, from everything that I've seen, he didn't call major things like King K. Rool, he didn't call Richter, but he knew Simon. You know Simon, but you don't know Richter. That's a little one that's kind of iffy. I know people are gonna say you don't need to get everything right to be a credible leaker, but you need to get some things right. And when you don't have King K. Rool, for example, and you have the most obvious things ever, like Incineroar has been something that has been discussed for months and people are saying he gave it credit, or Ken was going to be in the game. Everybody and their mother knew that Ken and Isabelle were going to be in the game the moment Echoes were announced. The moment Echoes were announced, those characters were going to be in. Everybody knew it. Everybody called it. The only character he didn't say that was going to be an Echo that a lot of people said was Shadow. And even if he didn't say anything about Ken and Isabelle until after the August Direct. And after the August Direct, there were already some people thinking that Shadow might not be a Echo, so that doesn't matter. But I wanted to say, press F to that the Joker effectively killed leakers. Nobody saw this coming, and if you think Vergebank was all right all along, I'm sorry. How? Vergebank, during the last couple of weeks, not the last couple of weeks, he's been saying for a while now that Minecraft was going to get representation in Smash, didn't get it, that the Ender Dragon was going to be DLC, it was going to be a boss, he isn't, it was going to be DLC, what? And one more thing, right? He said, also a guy that said, that I'm saying Vergebank, not mostly because he's the main leaker, and going on about DLC and that Square Enix was going to be the first DLC, and now people are defending him saying maybe they changed, and now apparently he's backpedaling hard on GameFAQs. It's funny as hell, and saying doubling down when saying like Square Enix character is coming in DLC eventually, which is backpedaling. It's playing it safe, it's throwing safe shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. And for crying out loud, everybody can say a character from Square is coming, and most of us will predict a Square character to be coming anyway. It's a fact. A Square character coming in is especially after Joker, is a safe bet for all intents and purposes. Even if it's an Echo, even if it's just a Cloud Echo, that's still a Square character. But the most important thing is that this effectively should kill any leaks, but so should have the Grinch leak. The Grinch leak should have absolutely killed every leak afterwards, because you actually have to put an effort into a leak to make it believable. And that leak was believable, and it proved out to be wrong. And saying he's 100% right, he has good track record, despite the fact that Vergebank has always had a terrible track record. And yeah, I think it's great I think it's great that Joker's in and that we now can look into this. And please, if you're gonna go out there looking for leaks or spreading information from leakers as Godspell, think before you type, please. I saw this a lot when it came around. First things first, I'm gonna say I saw this around a lot on Twitter and on certain YouTube channels that weren't acknowledging the Grinch leak and not saying that the Grinch leak was real. Think before you type and don't follow these idiots like it's Godspell. Unless somebody comes out tomorrow and says the next 3 DLC characters are going to be Master Chief, Kratos, and I don't know, Goku. And the next 3 characters are those 3, then that person is credible, because those 3 will never happen. By the way, that's the thing, Joker does not make any characters more likely. Joker is in Nintendo system with Persona Q2, and let's be completely honest, Persona Switch is coming. And the other things that's leading up to the next topic of what does Joker mean. Joker first things first means that Persona 5 most likely is coming to Switch. Now compare this, like, I know I said it, a lot of people said it, after Cloud was announced. Cloud is gonna bring in all the support from Square. Square is gonna be there from day one. Well, it wasn't really our fault to believe that. We have to remember that Cloud was announced in November 2015 for DLC, for Ultimate, for 4, and the Switch was announced, the NX was announced in March. By June, July, Square already announced Dragon Quest XI for the NX. So it wasn't really our fault to believe it. But not only that, there's a major difference between not only the two companies in Atlas and Sega versus Square, but also a difference between Cloud and Joker. Joker was chosen by Nintendo. Nintendo themselves chose Joker, or they made him a part of the list of characters they wanted to see as a part of the Fighter's Pass. While Cloud was something that Sakurai wanted. It had nothing to do with Nintendo. Nintendo only obviously approved, but had nothing to do with Nintendo. It was fully a Sakurai choice. The fact that this was a Nintendo idea, a thing that Nintendo wanted, makes it pretty clear that it's not something that it was just the whim of somebody. It was a board of directors most likely, or the people in charge, like, you know, Koizumi, like I would imagine that the people that sat around the table to discuss the characters for DLC. And I don't think Sakurai was a part of that discussion, now that I think about it. He probably was working on the game, and knowing Sakurai, he would not even leave for 5 minutes to get the discussion. And this probably was a roundtable that lasted for a while. I would guess like the president of Nintendo Europe, Nintendo of America, and then like Koizumi, Miyamoto, you know, Aonuma, all around the table discussing the characters that could be DLC, because it feels like these are the big brain guys at Nintendo, the ones that make all the decisions, especially obviously Harada and all the. Harada is not the president? What am I thinking? The new guy, I forget his name. I haven't memorized him because hasn't appeared as much, and it wasn't like the previous guy, Kimishima, that had such a serious face. Furuwara, is that his name? I think it is. I don't know. So yeah, they most likely decided the characters, but also because of deals they had with companies. Like, if it's like, it's a difference between Nintendo allowing, like, Cloud was a character from Final Fantasy that had been on Nintendo systems before. Cloud had been on multiple Nintendo games, despite the fact that people nowadays forget they don't exist. The same thing with Joker. They don't exist, those games. Despite the fact that they were there. Nintendo choosing it is very important. Not only for acknowledging that most likely, yes, there will be a character, that Persona most likely is coming to the Switch. And it makes sense, it's easy money for all companies involved. People want it, it's one of the most highly requested ports for the Switch. And the companies win money. So basically, and not also that, Persona always had a portable version, and without the Vita and Sony killing off their handheld market, basically, we're only left with Nintendo, and the only thing that's portable is the Switch. So they might make the portable version for the Switch now instead of the Vita or something like that. And the game was on PS3, so there isn't a major gap in power that would stop the game from happening, because that's always the excuse. a gap in power means that a character can't be in. And going forward, we now can expect Nintendo to go a little bit crazy or crazier than we expected from the DLC. Because before, I even made a predictions video, and on my list, let me see if I can find it here. I had a list. It's far better than going to the video now and trying to look up all the characters that I said. Oh yeah, I said, basically, these are the 10 I gave 10 characters as a possibility. I said Rex with Pyra, maybe with Adam and Malos as Echoes. A Fire Emblem 3 Houses rep, Decidueye or Generation 8 Pokemon, a Hunter from Monster Hunter, a Square Enix character. I guess the Square Enix character. What about, look at that also, Dovahkiin from Skyrim, Ubisoft rep, Bandana Waddle Dee, Banjo-Kazooie, and Psylocke. That's what the 10 characters that I chose or that I wrote down. And yeah, that's what I said. And all of these were basically very guesses. I was like, Fire Emblem is coming out, representation there, and advertising that. Same thing with the Generation 8 or Decidueye. Same thing with Monster Hunter. Same thing with Rex and Pyra. Dovahkiin to represent the new bridge between Nintendo and third parties, especially the Western ones. Ubisoft rep because, you know, some characters. Also the bridge there. Banjo-Kazooie because of the N64 Classic, and maybe a new relationship between Nintendo and Microsoft. And Psylocke because of Metroid Prime 4. All of these were marketing. And I still think marketing is going to be heavily used. But now I think the DLC characters, and I'll be making a new video on the DLC characters, maybe around Christmas time, or maybe next week, could be next week, revolving around who could be DLC, because now I would say there are some crazy ideas from E3. I saw some people predict this at E3, and I'm going to mention that when I make that video. And that some people made it's crazy. That's not happening. That now seem incredibly likely, I would say. And I think a lot of the characters we're going to be seeing as DLC are things that we didn't, like Nintendo said, don't expect. It's not going to, it's unexpected characters. They're unique characters. I remember, this is funny, like right before the Game Awards, the one Japan time, the last Japan time before the Game Awards and before Smash Ultimate came out, Japan time happened, and they were talking and discussing what JC from Nintendo said, I believe on Twitter, where he discussed that characters are must-gets, are things fans are not going to expect, are brilliant, are like, he hyped it up to high hell. And I think everybody in that podcast, or at very least, I think Shofu and Zeph said he's just doing this to get a higher pay raise, obviously, because he's a Nintendo guy and wants to get more, hyping up to get a better job, or like because like the kissing Reggie's ass to get more a promotion or something. And I'm guessing that the people at Nintendo of America, at the very least select people at Nintendo of America, the ones that can be trusted not to leak stuff, know what the DLC is. And I think, personally, that DLC, and I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit, don't know that the characters are going to be characters that the internet doesn't see coming. And a lot of the characters are going to be very hype worthy. If every single one of them is like Joker, which I'm not expecting. I'm expecting at the very least out of the 5 or the 4 left, 2 to be very safe predictions, safe bets. Psylocke seems to me like the most likely one, which, by the way, would still be crazy because that would put Metroid with 5 reps. It would be Metroid on par with Zelda, I think, right? Zelda nowadays has Young Link and Toon Link alongside. I was gonna say 5 because it's Link, Zelda, Sheik, Ganondorf, Young Link, and Toon Link. That's 6. And Metroid would be Samus, Dark Samus, Zero Suit Samus, Ridley, and Psylocke. That would be 5. Talk about a massive expansion on the brand in one goddamn game. It's like Fire Emblem last generation, but I bet most people won't be complaining about that. I wonder why that is. But the other thing that the Joker announcement showed us is that the DLC for Ultimate is going to be handled drastically different from the one in Smash 4. I didn't make anything, but when it came down to Smash 4, the DLC, I didn't want certain characters to be DLC, like the Inklings, or King K. Rool, or even Wonder Red. I didn't want these guys as DLC, despite I loving every single one of it. I'm wanting these 3 characters in. I didn't want them as DLC because I was like, nah. I don't want these characters to be wasted in a quick in-game trailer. I want the full-blown CGI trailer like we have had for every single newcomer in the game. That's what I want. I don't want like, you know, like Ryu got and what Mewtwo and Lucas got, you know, like, see, it's cool, those trailers are cool and all, and they get you hyped, but I really want the big production CG trailers like we've gotten for every single newcomer in Smash 4 apart from DLC, and from every single newcomer in Ultimate bar Piranha Plant. Like every character got a CGI trailer, which is super cool. And now it does seem like the DLC characters will have in-game or trailers in the art style of their original game. Because Joker's announcement was, for example, I almost skipped when I was watching. If you go to my reaction, you could see that I was not really that interested in, because I was like, this is either going to be the Persona dancing game, the Persona fighting game, or Persona port for Switch. The only one I care about in these 3 would be the Persona for Switch, but I wasn't counting on it, and I almost like move my mouse over to the next tab to watch something else or to see something else, because the Game Awards were not that good. It was an okay show, but it was like, it dragged on to some parts, and like most of the time I didn't really care what was on screen, so I almost clicked off, and it was already super late, so I was already tired. But for whatever reason I stuck around, and now that's going to happen in every. I hope that happens in every trailer. And one of the characters I could see coming. Oh no, wait! I will do that for the other video. I don't want to ruin my ideas there. But what else have I talked about? Oh yeah, I was keep talking about the trailers. And the one other thing that I want to see, and I hope it happens, is that in the trailer we get the Phantom Thieves, I believe that's their name, the other characters from Fire Emblem, from Persona 5 talking. And they say, we are going in, and we cannot wait until see our boss. The thing is, I hope that the we is not like the all-encompassing we, as in we, the Persona series are coming to Smash, or we'll be finding the best of the best, like, yeah, that. The we are like, we as a Persona character, or we as a Persona franchise will be encompassed in Joker. What I think, and I hope it happens, is that DLC this time around, because it's being planned out so far ahead and every single character has already been decided, I hope, and I know it goes up against all of the hopes I have. I think this is not happening, but I hope it does. That the codex, hopefully the codex get updated, that the Palutena's guidance are updated and added with every single DLC character, we get a new one. And that maybe, hopefully, the reason why Joker is number 1 or the first character is because the Phantom Thieves are going to have the codex and the guidance style things. They're going to have it in their own stage, and that's why they have all of them, and that's why he's number 1. He's the first one, so they can get all the characters in to do that thing. And Reggie said the characters will be unique, and I have no doubt that the Joker will be unique. But how much more unique could you get if a DLC character also brought its own version of the codex? I think that would be really, really, really interesting to see. But anyway, I guess that's all my opinions on this. Basically, DLC trailers going to be cool as F. They're not going to like you immediately. You're not going to see it immediately. You know, it's Smash Brothers, because you'll see the in-game models. Although I wish they remove the not actual gameplay footage from the trailers. That kind of gives it away, because every trailer has the not gameplay footage, and it's like, we know it's not gameplay footage. Don't put it. I know it's because some people are going to be like, it's false advertisement. The game doesn't play like this. But I hope, against high hopes, that the other things, I hope for obviously the Codex, Palutena's guidance things for other DLC characters. The trailers, obviously, the unexpectedness of what it's going to be, and that hopefully this has effectively, not hopefully, to me they always were dead, but now I hope that more people are opening up to that leaks don't matter. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I've been the Legend of DS. Link in the description for the 15 € eShop giveaway for the month of December. If we reach 250 subs by the end of the month, there will be another one for January. There will be 25 euros. And yeah, tell me in the comment section what does the Joker coming to Smash represent, or what it means to you. Do you think we're gonna get codex and Palutena's guidance for these extra DLC characters? Do you think we're gonna get these things coming also from them, not just to them, like the Phantom Thieves coming in? And what do you think of the leakers now? Do you think they're more or less, you know, in a way I think they're more than like dead? Because that's the other thing, much like Smash 4, DLC did not leak in 4. The only characters that leaked from 4 were Ryu and Roy, and those were data mining leaks. There was no like, I'm a leaker, I know stuff, the Cloud is coming. He didn't say Cloud, nobody said Cloud. Same thing with Piranha Plant. Nobody leaked Piranha Plant. People came out afterwards, like Verge Band, saying like, I knew, I just didn't want to say. I mean, I knew, I just didn't want to say. If you knew and you didn't want, why didn't you want to say? Because if Verge Band had come out and said, Piranha Plant is DLC before the announcement, I would say whatever this man says is truth. He's Godspell, he's a god, he knows everything. But he saying afterwards, I knew all along. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.